Okay, so here's part two of that video. Sorry I couldn't figure out how to get my phone to turn around, but this is the boat. Like I said, it's super windy right now. This is a 1970 Starcraft, I believe. John boat, V-hull. I'll show you what I started off with originally. This is what I did like about a year and a half ago. I know they look off, but I've got my fuel line kind of set in there right now because I don't have the motor hooked up, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, this actually closes pretty flush, but yeah, got my fuel line sitting in there. Hatches on both sides. Previously, this is where I would put my batteries. I had a smaller motor that had a remote fuel tank on it, but I upgraded. So now this is my cooler and cold storage, cold dry storage for food in this cooler, extra gallon of gas, bilge pump, gas tank. I did previously have like I got a little Piranha fish finder or whatever from Walmart set up right here, but ever since I've done all this now, I moved it to the front. Removable floor. It's got just styrofoam sheeting and a couple of 1x4s underneath it to make it rigid. Comes in and out. All the styrofoam comes in and out. Easy to clean. That was, really simple, obviously. But this was the part that took the most time. A lot of late nights. I really didn't have any help doing this, so unfortunately, I pretty much just wrestled with all this on my own. And like I said, TB Nation has helped me out a lot. A lot of cool ideas. Set up my post seat, got my hatches, 1x4 all the way around. This is a 2x4 frame underneath here that this 1x4 screwed down to. It's basically my support base for my pedestal seat. Let's see, 2 marine batteries, and I've got another video that I'll upload with this one, but the boat is just a disaster. You can't see anything, so these are smaller hatches. Basically, this stuff is just going to be for small throwing stuff. Anchor, rope. I've actually got a solar recharger, whatever, in there right now. Fire extinguisher, all that crap. Move my fish finder up here. Got me a little Bluetooth speaker. So I got a radio on the boat. And then LED strip light. I actually found this on something I was working on at work. At the time I was working on heavy equipment. I was working on a scissor lift and happened to find this sitting on it after they returned it. So I always knew I was going to use it for something, so there it went. It's actually pretty cool. Works really good. LED spotlights. Front mounted my transom trolling motor. Put my transducer head on the front. And this process really started, I was just going to do the front. You can tell it's split right here down the center. But after I got started, I just decided I was, in it, just going to keep on going. Did the whole shebang. I actually don't mind this transition right here because I'm going to set up some fishing pole holders kind of to cover in this crease. I think I might even, screw down with stainless steel screws through them into the base below it. So that's not really a huge concern. And then even right here, I had a buddy immediately ask me, he's like, "Why did you do that?" I didn't want to have to, I knew I was going to at some point probably install a bow cover up here, so that way I could put a foot mounted trolling motor. And at the time I knew that eventually this was going to get covered up, and I didn't want to have to drill to put a plug in here because I wasn't sure if my wiring was going to need to move back or forth, blah blah blah, with the new thing. So figured this was going to get covered up anyway. It was a good way to be able to tuck wires in and out. It doesn't take from the structure, take wires in and out if I have to for the time being, because this is all, it's for the most part temporary. If I find a better idea, a better way that it works, then it'll get changed up. It's really just built so that I can get my ass to a decent fishing spot and then sit on that seat and just murder them, hopefully. So it's not really too much that's going on, but it took a lot of work and a lot of time. I've actually got, I think, like 16 pool noodles throughout here. I know that one just looks like it's shoved in there, but there's like 4 or 5 in a row stacked back, and they just bend down. I even left a little bit of space so I can get, Plano tackle boxes in there. Still have lots of storage in here and all the way up front. You can see more pool noodles. So hatch is closed pretty good. This one's still wearing in a little bit. Whenever you smack it pretty good, that one goes down. But besides that, another pod light. I've got my switches for my bilge pump, front lights and pod lights right there, and that's pretty much it, y'all. I redid the transom a while back. I know this kind of looks shitty, but it is actually really strong. Just got like a piece of a rubber toolbox top, cut it off, put it in there, and then I used the rest of it actually as a floor in there. I don't think you could see it, but it's got a black rubber floor, and then the other side of this is pretty I don't know, abrasive. It's really rough, so gets good grip. And then repainted the top rails, sides a little bit. This actually had bed liner on it whenever I got it. Not really sure how I feel about it being up here. It's not really any need for it, but down here at the bottom you can see some spots where it rubbed through. So that'll be a project I'm gonna have to get into eventually, but for right now, just trying to get out there and go fishing. So hopefully this helps y'all out. If you have any questions, I mean, I could get a lot more in depth into it, but one of the main things that I did that I could really preach out to about, a lot of people are going to say, all the wood's going to be really heavy. Well, this is now just a one-man fishing boat, so I eliminated the capacity of 2 people off of it. I'm guessing the rating for that would be 185 pounds a pop. I know this wood, everything I've added in might weigh 100 pounds, so that does not scare me one bit. And I mean, there's just so much that can go into these tiny boats. People don't understand how overwhelming it can get. And one thing that the main dude from Tiny Boat Nation, Michael Lopez, always says, you gotta stay fishing in between. It really helps with getting so overwhelmed and taking away from what it is that you're actually working towards, which is getting this out on the water and having fun with it. So that's one of the biggest points that I could ever stress to anybody, is that it's a lot of work and a lot of nail biting, a lot of 4-letter words, but other than that, once it's done, it's totally worth it. So just one more quick walk around of it. And then, yeah, it's been raining for like the last 3 days, so I had like 4 tarps over it. But hopefully this is something that y'all enjoy, and like I said, if there's anything that I can do to answer any questions, just let me know. One thing I did try to really play into, I did not drill anything into the side of the boat. Kept the bench seats, kept the foam in the seats. Felt like that was really important, and I only screwed down into the benches. So if it's not a frame that's made from the benches out or in between 2 benches, there's no screws in the side. That's it. So let me know. Thank you. Hopefully this make it its way to TB Nation.